Now, every Wednesday, I like to look at a water-themed movie, but now that it's December, I think I'll spend some time looking at some frozen water. It's Ice Water Wednesday. So let's go through the Ice Age 3D movies, starting with this one that introduces dinosaurs into the mix. Now, Ice Age was something of a counterpoint to the pioneering CGI films led by Pixar. Through the 90s, a CGI film was always trying to impress and prove itself as something to be taken as seriously as traditional sketch animation. When Ice Age arrived on the scene in 2002, it didn't impress anybody. It was crude, simple, and its artfulness was in its ability to exploit any and all CGI shortcuts it could find. It looked cheap, shockingly cheap, actually. It was the first time many people had seen a CGI film that was not trying to impress with fancy graphics. It wasn't out to prove the merits of the medium, it just wanted to be entertaining. And that it was. What it lacked in complexity, it made up for in fun storytelling with silly but enjoyable gags. And to that end, I believe it was Ice Age that truly established CGI had arrived. It was the first big movie that used this new CGI, not as a gimmick, but merely as a tool to animate with. Now, curiously, the company never went back and made a retro 3D version of the first two movies, which seems a bit odd that a popular CGI franchise would not try and milk some sales when 3D was all the rage. My guess, though, is that they may have used a lot of flat composites, and that would have been expensive to convert to 3D. So here, 3D starts with this third movie called Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Well, this seems to be based on the Hollow Earth theory, which, if you don't know, is the idea that there are large tropical landscapes below the Earth's crust. I guess the middle of the Earth is supposed to be a sun that keeps it all working. This movie doesn't try and explain it. Just that the dinosaurs are down there and they ain't happy. And the 3D is surprisingly good considering the year that this was made. It has many fun and adventurous scenes that produce many moments that look good in stereo. In fact, I wondered if the script was written to show off in 3D. Not that I felt it was obvious. The story and the stereo just seem to work very well together. You have many moments of things in the sky, flying off cliffs, faces that push into the screen. But I noticed all of the showcase action bits are very consistent with the character going through it. A silly character flails and looks to be at the mercy of the space around them, like it's controlling them. A serious one jumps into the screen and grows into it and is made stronger by the stereo space. Overall, the film pushes out a little bit more than the Pixar ones I've seen. It's not afraid to dabble in negative space, but never quite takes a showy plunge right out into it. So this is a gentle 3D experience. Now, most of the stereo fun takes place on what you might call front of stage, with the deep background often little more than a backdrop. Still, what you get up front is very dynamic, well-shaped, and effective. I never felt I was missing out. Now, I wasn't expecting Ice Age to give me much to think about, but it does manage to pose one. Oh, look at the eyes in that puddle. This is such a great shot. Now, the question it poses is the question of, is a man's worth in his family or in his purpose? And by the end, it offers at least two different answers that both felt valid. This is a production that understands it will live and die by its script, and I wasn't expecting this to be so sharp. Well, next Wednesday, we'll take a look at Ice Age 4.